So here we are, our final build, final look at our 2004 Honda Accord. Shout out to my son. He threw together some stencils for me to make a little battle sequence with the ships there, and we just used the spray cans we had left to kind of make something. We don't ever like to just leave a blank car, like in this case a black car. So instead of the bat symbol, he threw the kind of stencil outline for me and I quickly sprayed it on, so we got something to go there. So a little bit hot referring to coming in toward the end because we built a derby car for a buddy that I'm actually going to run with. It's my cousin's husband, first ever derby. Excited for him. And not only did I want a derby at this derby, it's one I've done the last couple years, and haven't derbied in almost 2 months now, so I got the itch. But wanted to run with him and hopefully be able to help him out a little bit, maybe early, and hopefully have some fun. But yeah, it came together good. We have everything set up. Just to show inside again, my typical stock build. We got the ratchet strap, which I have my bar welded in here, but the ratchet strap is just meant to kind of be an armrest so that my arm doesn't slam into that bar just sitting on the armrest. I've done that before. That's not fun. But yeah, just a simple crossbar weld there. Again, airbags removed. My battery lines, the only thing I've left to do is I need to secure my lines with the back here, just kind of pull them in and tie them up. But I have a ton of time to do that at the derby. I want to get there early with him. And same thing, I'll like zip tie my battery lines up here, and that's actually my extra battery. I'll have my main battery there. But the tank, shout out to Lucas if he ever stumbles into these. Nice guy, buddy, derbies, really good derby driver, does the Cavaliers mainly. This tank he loaned me with the Cobalt, and it worked great. I believe it's got a Camry internal fuel cell, so it's directly powered. So again, on the positive there, I have a little clamp with the line feeding to it, and then on the negative I have there. And again, lesson I've learned, always have the positive on first, and I just have it loosely on there. Then as soon as you hit the negative, again, it's powering the fuel cell, which is pumping the gas, and you're good to go. Just pop off the negative, and you can reset it and try again if you need to in the derby or anything like that. But again, I'll secure the lines. The tank though, just have a piece of board under it because it's not perfectly flush. You can see in the back it's got like a little indent in the bottom. So see how I cut? So the lines, again, the fuel lines come back, both the main line and the return. Now the return in this one's interesting. As I mentioned, I was going to use, as you can see, the stock tank there, but it actually splits right here into two return lines, and there's one in the front and back of the tank. So that wasn't going to work with my typical setup. But Lucas, my buddy, actually said he was selling this, so I ended up, instead of borrowing it, I just bought it off him. And again, just used 3/8 bolts as well as the seat belt or the seat mount there to bolt it down good and it's sturdy. But yeah, that wasn't going to work. So what I did, so my son's running around the yard in his four-wheeler, is right where it splits, I cut it there, the return, and I went just cut through the inside of the car here, made it nice and wide, bent it back, and then I spray foamed it whenever I had it all set up. So I have that spliced into the return, and then the main line, same thing. I just cut right there, well inside the wheel well. I mean, the car should be long smashed up before it's getting to that, at least hopefully. And again, the tank in these Accords, shout out to Derek Head if he ever watches these. I asked him, I said, dude, it's like a grid under the rear axle. And I'm like, how do you get it down? And he goes, no, we just leave the tank in there. So again, I mentioned the build, but all I did was took that out, tried to use a siphon, but I couldn't get it to work right. So I just jacked up the back end on my ramps and carefully used the drill. Again, it has spark, so I carefully would drill a little stop, make sure it wasn't drilled out yet, but under the bottom of the tank drilled, and then I just put my gas cans under and caught all the excess fuel just a little bit spilled out. And then I just took the hose and sprayed, took the fuel cell out, sprayed inside, kind of got as much of the gas kind of lingering or excess as I could, and that should be good to go, and it should help make it a little bit tougher. Trunk wise, haven't pressed up yet. I'll do that at the derby. Just take the jack under and kind of carefully press up around the edges, maybe hit it with the sledge, and then that's good to go in the back. And that's it. Again, my roof sign, pretty simple. Again, I thought our battle sequence looks kind of cool. The wheels, we always like to make multicolored. Again, I run stock wheels. It's a stock build. And I always tell my kids, I'm like, I'm floored. I know it doesn't look like Dad's moving fast, but I've got it to the floor. It's just, they usually make it muddy, and the stock tires just don't go well. So that's how I set it up. So as I was saying there, the wheel's spinning. That way you can tell how hard I'm on the throttle, so it doesn't look like I'm sandbagging or anything out there. That's what I tell the kids. But last thing under the hood, just want to show real quick. Again, got the chain with 3/8 bolts for the simple kind of safety thing. Again, I'll strap in these guys just to make sure they're secure, but otherwise got them taped again, just U-bolts through the battery terminals. Spray foam again, I like to hit inside the fuse box there, as well as kind of along the electrical lines. Again, I'm stock. I was able to pull the main line here inside, which you see right here. I'll kind of secure it over here again once I get there. But the spray foam, I like it, just kind of helps put a little bit of padding. And it's obviously not a perfect setup, but running the stock wiring, it's as good as you can get. And again, this just kind of keeps this stable. And again, I'll zip tie at native terminals, so it's good to go. But yeah, that is it. Again, same thing on the other side. There are grounds outside. You can see right there, there's nothing inside I could do to mount them, so I just kind of hit some spray foam. And hopefully she's good. The only thing I'd like to do that unfortunately I don't think I'm gonna be able to do with this car is I like to take out the sensor, the coolant sensor. But no one around me has one, and with, I didn't mention the Caravan bumper, and I think my weld getting a little better. Still not great, but a little better. But that, you know, I'm more defensive, and that should keep the front end clean, hopefully at least for an extended time. So I have the stock radiator, stock everything. Again, I'll put some fabric softener in it. Otherwise, that's it with the radiator and everything. So I'm running the stock coolant sensor, which again, if you have a dummy, the motor will cook before it heats up. But keep the nose clean, have some fun. That's our goal. Again, 2004 Honda Accord. We're hoping she puts up a good fight. We're excited. We think she's going to be a tough car. We'll see.